Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
It's what the state attorney general is calling the biggest investigation that's ever occurred. Good evening. I'm Lily Bradley. Thanks for joining us. Fear still lurks in Pike County over last year's unsolved killings. As of now, no arrests have been made and no suspects identified. However, the Pike County Sheriff's Office and Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine said in a press conference today that they still expect an arrest. According to DeWine, there is a belief that some people in the county have information about the crimes but are afraid to come forward due to the drug involvement in the area. But both DeWine and Pike County Sheriff Charles Reeder say their main concern is the homicide and not the individual involvement in drugs. They say they will treat anybody who comes forward with information fairly. Reeder is pleading for more donations to a $10,000 Crime Stoppers reward for information leading to a conviction. Reeder says this has been an emotional case for the Pike County Sheriff's Office and others involved.
You came in like thieves in the night and took 8 lives, some being children. In the most horrific way I've ever seen in my 20-plus years. We are getting closer. We will find you. The family and the victims will have justice one day. We are coming. We will find you.
DeWine says there is now a billboard of this poster of the family with the hopes that it will encourage community members to come forward with more information. A Washington, D.C. man who assaulted another man with a handgun at River Park Apartments last April has accepted a plea agreement. Under the agreement, Mikis Gerbazagiber pled guilty to aggravated assault and receiving stolen property after a woman reported her gun was missing from her vehicle behind Court Street. The 19-year-old was sentenced to 5 years of community control. Bora, the canine from the Athens County Sheriff's Office, will be receiving a brand new protective vest. Bora will be receiving her vest in about 2 months, thanks to a donation from Vested Interest in Canines. Bora became a member of the Athens County Sheriff's Department back in July of 2016. Since then, she has assisted in the seizing of narcotics, resulting in over 100 felony charges. Not only will the vest be bullet and stab proof and aid in protection to Bora out in the field, but it will also be embroidered with the saying, "Vested in Athens County." Athens County Commissioners are putting forth a 2017 Community Improvement Challenge. The challenge is geared towards smaller, more rural communities throughout the county. The first 10 communities to apply will be accepted as participants. The Commission's office will provide $500 to assist each community in their improvement projects. The goal of the challenge is to encourage communities to get together to make it healthier, happier, and more prosperous. And speaking of providing help to the area, a ride-sharing service may finally come to Athens, but it won't be Uber or Lyft. Liberty Mobile Now is a ride-sharing service that specializes in providing rides to small urban and rural communities. The Lincoln, Nebraska-based company is planning to launch its services in Athens next month and is looking to employ more than 100 drivers. CEO Valerie Leffler said the company won't seek any local approval to operate because Liberty Mobile has statewide approval to operate in Ohio. Leffler also said that ride-sharing service is considered moving its main headquarters to Athens. A new store may soon be coming to the far end of East State Street. The project to bring a Menards or home improvement store to the area is in its final stages of reaching approval. According to the Athens Messenger, the city's Board of Zoning Appeals gave permission from Menards to have fewer parking spaces than allowed by city code, fewer loading docks, and a larger sign. While online shopping is growing in popularity, the market on East State Street is learning to adapt. The market used to be home to large retailers such as JCPenney's and Kmart, but when their needs weren't being met, they soon were out the door. Now the market has found new ways to get new stores in the building and customers through those doors. Owner Brent Hayes says one way they have kept business going is by bringing in the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles offices.
You're going to be there once a year getting licensed, so we bring people in to try to keep the traffic for our tenants. I think that in Athens the shopping's limited. We're the only, some of those shops, or that's the only place in town to shop.
Hayes says they will continue to take risks when it comes to leasing space in the mall. A new video game business, Super Retro Land, just opened its doors, and a jiu-jitsu will be opening soon. Alexander schools are asking voters once again to pass a levy. The 1.5% levy will appear on the May primary ballot. If passed, the district says the money will help keep classes smaller, allow for the purchase of new school buses, and prevent staffing cuts. The levy, which will affect voters in parts of Athens, Meigs, and Vinton counties, was rejected in November. The district says the school system has lost more than $2 million in state funding since 2009.
For the Newswatch Weather Center, I'm forecaster Ethan Emery, and today was a pretty nice day outside with that sunshine and high thin clouds. You can take a look at this photo I took earlier today of Ohio University on College Green. This is Cutler Hall out there on College Green, and you can see how beautiful it was. People were outside maybe on their bikes, doing homework, or just enjoying the beautiful weather we had out today. And remember, if you have any photos, please send those to me. You can either tweet them at Ethan Emery, WX, or you can Facebook or tweet at WOUB, and make sure you do include the location and the source of the photo. Now, temperatures right now are still fairly mild across the region. We have the mid to upper 60s, at 68 over in Columbus, 70 down in Ripley, and then here in Athens, 66. And then overnight tonight, I do expect temperatures to fall, but they won't be falling that much because of high thin clouds. So 63 at 8, 53 at midnight, and then by 4 a.m. I have 49 degrees with high thin clouds, but we'll call it mostly cloudy skies. Back to you, Lily.
Thanks, Ethan. Nearly 150 people will soon be out of a job in Circleville. GE Lighting is closing its light bulb plant, following through on a plan the company announced last summer. The company says workers who lose their job will receive severance pay, benefits, and preferential treatment for employment at other GE plants. According to Ohio Governor John Kasich, a campaign promise in Washington to repeal the federal health care without protecting Medicaid could be devastating to Ohio's budget. Kasich said this today during a news conference to trim Ohio's two-year budget proposal by $400 million because of lagging tax revenues. Kasich said cuts will follow a careful review of state programs. However, there are no plans to tap into the state's $2 billion rainy day fund. West Virginia Governor Jim Justice has vetoed legislation that would have revised the scope of practice for physician assistants in the state. The bill would have authorized them to work in collaboration with a doctor rather than under that doctor's supervision. It also would have removed the requirement that they maintain current certifications. Justice says the bill would have ultimately weakened long-standing safeguards. A 40-hour class for crisis intervention is being implemented at the West Virginia Correctional Facility. The training will educate an initial class of guards on ways to safely diffuse incidents involving mentally ill inmates. Training includes signs and symptoms of mental illnesses, legal issues, and techniques to de-escalate confrontations. Deputy Corrections Commissioner Mike Coleman says the goal is to provide a safer way to resolve these incidents. President Trump's 100 days are almost up. We'll look at how his policies may have pivoted from his promises. And the daughter of the man forcibly removed from a United Airlines flight speaks out. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous. Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
President Trump signed a bill today that allows states to withhold Title X federal funding from Planned Parenthood and other abortion providers. The Senate narrowly passed the resolution at the end of March. The action overturns a rule enacted last year by President Obama that prevented states from defunding the providers. More than a dozen states have tried withholding funds from Planned Parenthood in recent years. This is the first major pro-life legislation to be signed into law in more than a decade. President Trump, who prides himself as being flexible, is more than proving his point. The president appearing to flip-flop on several key issues in the past 24 hours. Stacey Cohen has the latest from Washington.
As he inches closer and closer to the 100-day milestone, President Donald Trump appears to be making some drastic changes, both foreign and domestic.
Unbelievable!
Moving away from the key themes that helped propel him to the White House. On Russia, candidate Trump.
But if we could get along with Russia, wouldn't that be a good thing instead of a bad thing?
And this week, President Trump.
Right now, we're not getting along with Russia at all.
On China, candidate Trump.
We can't continue to allow China to rape our country, and that's what they're doing.
And this week, President Trump.
President Xi wants to do the right thing. We had a very good bonding. I think we had a very good chemistry together.
On NATO, candidate Trump.
NATO is obsolete.
And this week, President Trump.
I said it was obsolete. It's no longer obsolete.
And that's not all. From praising Fed Chair Janet Yellen after promising to replace her, to his military strike in Syria. The White House maintains the president has not shifted his views.
In some cases, the issues evolve. The entity itself is moving towards his, or the issue is evolving towards the position that he articulated.
The West Wing whiplash coincides with a shift within Trump's inner circle. Sources say Chief Strategist Steve Bannon is seeing his influence shrink after clashing with senior advisor Jared Kushner. Bannon is a hero among Trump's populist base. Kushner is seen as more centrist. In Washington, I'm Stacey Cohen.
President Trump's 100th day is April 29th, which is a little over 2 weeks from today. The United Airlines passenger forcefully removed from a flight Sunday will file a lawsuit against the carrier, his lawyers say. His lawyers also say Dr. David Dow suffered a concussion and will require follow-up surgeries from his injuries. He says Dow was discharged from the hospital Wednesday night and is recovering in a secure location. Dow's daughter joined the two attorneys representing her 69-year-old father at a press conference today to speak on behalf of their family.
We were completely horrified and shocked at what had happened to my father when we learned of the incident. Seeing it on video made those emotions exacerbated. My dad is healing right now, and that's all I have to say about that.
In a statement today, United said they plan to make policy changes by April 30th and that their CEO has reached out to Dow. On Wall Street today, stocks were down across the board. Here's a look at stocks of local interest. There's a lot of long-term health benefits from taking aspirin. That story still ahead.
And we have warm temperatures and beautiful weather in the forecast for tomorrow, but then rain returns, and see how that affects your Easter coming up after the break.
Professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us. I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is."
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home.
Good evening from the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm forecaster Ethan Emery. Now, temperatures right now are still pretty mild with 65 degrees with those high, thin clouds. It's been a beautiful day today. See, those winds are starting to the north and east at 7 miles per hour. Dew point at a dry 36 degrees, which has made it why it's so comfortable outside. And then that pressure is beginning to fall at 30.36 inches. And you can see behind me the photo that I took earlier today of Cutler Hall, just showing how beautiful the weather is outside. Good day to do outside activities, maybe ride a bike or go do your homework outside or anything like that. And it all shapes up because the almanac today did show a high of 71 degrees here in Athens officially, which is about 10 degrees above average for this time of year, and that record was not touched, 85 back in 1941. And overnight tonight, those temperatures will begin to fall, but not that bad because of the high, thin clouds. By 8 p.m., I have 63, by midnight, 53, and then 4 a.m., 49 degrees, and like I said, that high, thin cloud cover will be across the area, but it won't be affecting the temperatures all that greatly. And I have a low officially here in Athens at 48 degrees. Like I said, those high, thin clouds, but overall, fairly mild night because of this cloud cover, and those winds will be fairly light out of the east at 0 to 5 miles per hour. And across the region for tonight, I do have temperatures in the mid to upper 40s, 48 here in Athens, like I mentioned, 44 in Newark, 51 in Jackson, and then 51 over in Ripley on the Ohio River. And all this is because of this area of a weak stationary front, we call it here, and there's a high pressure up in the Great Lakes region, and you can see it shaping up for bringing in warmer temperatures for tomorrow as a warm front is beginning to develop and begin to move into the Ohio Valley region. As you get a little bit closer, you can see it won't affect our weather greatly because it's kind of weak right now, but it does begin to build up, and then for tomorrow, those temperatures will be on the rise because of this warm front here. This model has a chance of showers for our northern counties, but I really don't see any chance of rain for tomorrow at all. As for the bus stop for tomorrow morning, 52 degrees with those high, thin clouds. Very mild start to the day, and those winds will be fairly light for your day tomorrow. And as the hour by hour does show, temperatures will begin on the rise. Those cloud cover will begin to break up, and then a beautiful weather in store for tomorrow. I have a high of 78 degrees with mostly sunny skies. A few high, thin clouds like it was today. And then across the region tomorrow, 81 in Columbus, 80 in Ripley, and then 76 over in Cambridge for that. 7-day forecast, I have 78 degrees for tomorrow. And then Saturday, 80 degrees with a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly around noon or later. And then for your weekend outlook, I do have temperatures starting out at 80, like I said, on Saturday, but then a chance for your Easter weather does not look promising because I have a chance of rain and showers mostly around noon and onward. But if you want to get your Easter eggs, you should do it in between those showers and thunderstorms. And then for the week next week, I have temperatures still mild, 71 on Monday, 69 on Tuesday, and a chance of rain on Wednesday. Back to you, Lily.
Thanks, Ethan. Everyone knows aspirin can be an effective pain reliever, but new research has found another potentially life-saving use for the drug. Kim Hutcherson explains in today's Health Minute.
According to new research from Harvard University, regular doses of aspirin may reduce the risk of dying from cancer. Of the more than 100,000 people studied, men who took aspirin regularly had a 15% lower cancer mortality risk than those who did not. For women, it was 7% lower. In the study, the largest impact for both sexes was with colorectal cancer. Researchers also suspect aspirin may significantly reduce the risk of death for men with prostate and lung cancer. For women, regular aspirin may help fend off death from breast cancer. Previous studies have also found aspirin can help patients at risk for heart attack or stroke. Not everyone should take a daily aspirin. Doctors do not recommend it for anyone at a high risk for ulcers or gastrointestinal bleeding. But researchers say the benefits do outweigh the risks for most people. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Now, in addition to these new findings, aspirin has also been known to prevent the risk of blood clots and heart attacks.
Hi, I'm Thomas Garvick. Coming up, a recap of the life of Pittsburgh Steelers chairman Dan Rooney and a look of how the Ohio softball and baseball teams fared yesterday. Also find out why the Reds, not the Indians, are stealing early headlines and how the Penguins were able to take Game 1 from the Jackets next on Newswatch. Stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous. Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, this is it. And she said, the tour's just started. I said, no, you don't understand. This is it.
Welcome back. I'm Thomas Garvick. Pittsburgh Steelers chairman Dan Rooney passed away earlier today at the age of 84. Rooney was named president of the Steelers in 1975 and held the position until 2002 when he took on the role of chairman. His son Art Rooney is currently the president of the team. Under his direction, Rooney saw the Steelers win 4 Super Bowls, and most recently he established what is known as the Rooney Rule, giving more opportunities to minority coaching candidates. The Ohio softball team lost a heartbreaker to MAC rival Kent State yesterday, 1-0 in extra innings. The Golden Flashes ended the scoreless tie with a solo home run by Bailey Brownfield, the only run of the game. But don't let the loss overshadow a terrific pitching performance by the Bobcats' Savannah Joe Dorsey. You want to talk about having a rubber arm? Dorsey pitched all 11 innings of the game and struck out 22 Golden Flashes. The 22 strikeouts are the second most for a game in MAC history. Dorsey and the Bobcats are back in action tomorrow as they take on Akron. It's been a tough 5-game stretch for the Ohio men's baseball team. The Bobcats' 9 runs against Marshall were not enough yesterday as they fell to the Thundering Herd 12-9 for their 4th loss in their last 5 games. What turned the tide in this game was an error in the 3rd inning by Ohio third baseman Connor Callery. Marshall cashed in with 3 of their own runs on their own to tie the game in the 4th. That would set the scene for a go-ahead 3-run home run by Tyler Ratliff, who put Marshall up for good. The Bobcats will try to bounce back when they head to Eastern Michigan for a 3-game series this weekend. The Cincinnati Reds are putting the National League Central on notice after completing a 3-game sweep of the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Reds picked up their 4th straight win last night behind the performance of rookie sensation Amir Garrett. The Reds are atop the Central at 7-2, and this is their best start through 9 games since 1990, the year they won the World Series. The red-hot Redlegs take on the Brewers tonight at 7:10 p.m. So far, it hasn't been smooth sailing for the reigning American League champions. The Cleveland Indians fell last night at the hands of the Chicago White Sox in a pitcher's duel 2-1. The Tribe continued to struggle to muster up any offense as they've only scored 9 runs in their past 5 games. The Tribe hope to get their bats going and take the rubber match against the White Sox, which are currently underway. Things have not been all smiles for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The defending champions will begin their quest for a repeat as a 2 seed in the East after losing their final 4 games. In 2 of those 4 games, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love did not suit up in order to get rest before the playoffs. The Cavs will take on the Pacers in the first round, with Game 1 being played in Cleveland on Saturday, tipping at 3. Playoff hockey has finally arrived, but the Columbus Blue Jackets were unable to start their postseason with a bang as they fell to the Pittsburgh Penguins 3-1 last night. The Penguins scored the game's first 3 goals, and the Jackets' only goal was scored by Matt Calvert with 12:41 left in the 3rd period, proving to be too little, too late. Jackets coach John Tortorella said the Jackets will need to put more pressure on Penguins goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury to win Game 2. The Jackets will try to even the series Friday night with the puck dropping at 7 p.m. I'm Thomas Garvick, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Lily.
Thanks, Thomas. A Honolulu waitress was surprised to receive a large tip from a table of visitors from Australia she was waiting on. She hit it off with the couple and told them that she was in debt and couldn't afford to go back to college. So the couple decided to leave her a $400 tip. To thank them, the waitress sent the visitors desserts, flowers, and a note to their hotel, but it didn't end there. The couple came back the next day and offered to help pay her student loans and gave her more than $10,000. The waitress plans to study liberal arts and business when she returns to school.
That's really great to see. I like seeing stuff like that. Tonight's low is 48 degrees with high thin clouds. Pretty mild night with those winds fairly light. And then for tomorrow, 78 degrees with mostly sunny skies. A beautiful day to go outside and do any activities you want to do. Still high thin clouds, kind of similar today, but warmer temperatures. Those winds you see are still fairly light. But the forecast does show a little bit of disturbance for the weekend. So 80 degrees on Saturday, chance of rain mainly afternoon. And then on Sunday for Easter, 74 degrees and on and off rain showers and thunderstorms. So if you want to get any eggs, you make sure to kind of find time between some showers and thunderstorms. And then the work week next week looks pretty dry and temperatures still pretty mild. What do you think about that, Lily?
Sounds great, Ethan. That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Lily Bradley. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.